In today's video, I'm gonna break down my competitors at the Amateur Olympia.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rabella from ProPhysique.com, and I've been a little bit busy the last couple days coaching, and you know what I thought I would do is I'm going to take the footage, some clips of my competitors. I had 3 girls competing here at the Amateur Olympia, and I'm going to do a voiceover while they're on stage and talk about what I think is going on in the bikini division, what I think is going on with them specifically, and just give you feedback on who they are, what we're going to work on in the future going forward. You know, I had a lot going on this week, and I thought I would get to be able to do some videos, but you know what, work has just been so busy that, you know what, I thought I would just include you guys in what I'm doing while I'm here in Las Vegas. It's Thursday today, so tonight I'm going to go to the Meet the Olympians. Might try to get some footage there. Lauren, Steven, Tyler, some of the Pro Physique gang is showing up, so this will probably be the last chance I have to do a video like this before the weekend gets going with all the festivities of the Olympia. I will be at the Expo on Friday and Saturday. Core Nutritionals has a booth. Check my Instagram for the times. I haven't announced them yet because I'm still kind of figuring out the scheduling, but enjoy the video. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, guys, so let's get started. We all arrived in Las Vegas a couple days early, and we were able to train. This is the day before the show, so this is Tuesday afternoon. That's Natalie Matthews. So me, Natalie, and George drove over from Los Angeles the night before. That's Valentina Rodriguez, the tiny one there. She's our Class A girl. Chloe up in the front, and then we're meeting Aurora as well. And what we did was we got in some good workouts. Most of that stuff just went on my Instagram. I'm not a big pull out the camera in the middle of the gym guy, but I got some footage from my Instagram. But what I thought would be interesting is to show you guys, you know, some of the final preparations. Now, all these girls are seasoned competitors. It wasn't their first show ever, but it was the first show of the season for 2 of them. So that includes Chloe, which you just saw, and Valentina here. Now, Valentina's a baby. She's not even 21 years old yet. So, you know, we're really working on developing her as a long-term successful competitor. She's got some absolute gifts, and I'll go over what we're going to be working on, improving on going forward. But as you can see here with Natalie, this is just fine-tuning. You know, these aren't big changes we're making. We don't want to make huge adjustments going into the show because we want everyone to be comfortable. However, we can tweak the way a toe is pointed. We can tweak the way someone moves their hair. We can tweak how long someone holds their poses. Then it can give the air of confidence on stage. And this is Aurora Gunko, who is not lacking for confidence. Now, everybody comes to competing from a different background, but Aurora is certainly someone who has a ton of stage presence, and she's been an actress, she's in theater, so actually with her, we need to tone her down just a bit. She is so animated that this is Natalie kind of reining her in, and she still finds a way to put her flair to it, which we love. But the great thing about Aurora, this was her second show. She won her class at a muscle contest show a few weeks earlier. And so we were able to come in just a little bit leaner, a little bit fuller, really fill her out with carbs. And she ended up doing very well, which you'll see her very soon. So let's get into how judging works at the Amateur Olympia show. They ran it just like a national show. In fact, a bunch of the national shows were here. So this is the initial group comparisons. So this is Class A open bikini. What they did was they brought all the girls out in groups of, say, 7 or 8, had them all hit a couple poses, front and back. They all walked back off stage. Then they came out for their individual presentations. This is Valentina Rodriguez, individual presentation. Now, great shape, tons of confidence on stage. Her posing routine, fantastic. But this bikini division has become so much about muscle, and this is an international pro qualifier. So there are some girls at this show looking to win pro cards from all over the world. There's girls from Asia, Brazil, certainly a bunch of South American countries, European countries, and even plenty of American girls here. So this was as difficult a show as I've seen this year. I mean, just a ton of muscle. And Valentina, for all her gifts, is still only 20 years old, so not carrying nearly as much muscle as some of these women. In fact, some of the open classes were won by masters competitors. That just tells you that the bikini division is all about shape. Now, the funny thing about having all these international competitors on stage is you see the confusion here. some of them don't speak English. So when they're asking them to do things, they don't really understand it. So maybe in the future, they'll consider adding a translator to this show. But the show was very well run. It was in the Orleans Hotel. We had a blast. Now, second from the right here is Chloe. Now, Chloe is someone who I do see contending for a pro card this season. However, this is our first show, and she's not quite conditioned enough based on what was in her class. Now, look at the muscle on these girls. It's just remarkable how much the bikini division has taken a step forward. Here's Chloe individual, and what we really wanted her to work on was taking her time. So when you take your time and you look at the judges, it just shows that you have confidence. What you'll notice with some competitors is they get out there and they rush through their routine because they're thinking and trying to perform perfectly. So what we want to do is just give the judges an opportunity to see who we are, show a little bit of confidence, because again, this is not just a physique competition. It does come down to stage presence and how you carry yourself. So me and Natalie were both thrilled with how Chloe kind of carried herself on stage. She just did fantastic. And Chloe ended up in a second call out, which I kind of thought she might sneak into that first call out, but her lower body is just not quite conditioned enough. And this is our first show of the season, so she will be moving on. The feedback that I would have for her certainly would just be to focus on continuing to get more conditioned. We're going to focus on making sure her training continues to be high quality. We were able to actually increase carbohydrates each day this week, and she dropped weight and got fuller and tighter, which actually happened with all the girls. The one real benefit that I find with working with people for a long time is I really learn how to manage their peaking. Now we have Aurora Gunko. So in this picture right here, she's third from the left. And now she does not have an issue with lower body conditioning. As you see, her lower body, the glute hamstring tie-in looks very nice, very full, shoulders very round, core completely tight. Based on this, Natalie was really believing that she was going to be in the first call-outs. And I knew she had all the intangibles. I just didn't know how much they were going to want her to be bigger because she's not the most muscular girl in the division. So this, as you can see, is her individual routine. Now, like I said, Aurora has a history of being on stage and in theater, and so she is so comfortable up there. She just loves it. You can see her really taking her time, looking at the judges, and you've got the famous spin-off that she's about to do here. Watch, she's going to walk one way and then go back. Yeah, see, that's a little flair. You know, some people might like it, some people might not, but it's, again, her personality, and I feel like as long as you're doing it within that and not just to be kind of showing off, then I think it's wonderful. So Aurora did make first call-outs, and as you can see, she's second from the right, and if you look at the girl to her right, look how much muscle she has. And if you look to the girls far to her right, the blonde and the black bikini, she ended up turning pro at this show. So you can just tell that the division really is a very muscular division. These girls are carrying a lot of muscle and conditioning and beauty. They're bringing a complete package to the stage, which is why we focus on so much. So with Aurora, if you notice her hair, we actually had her cut it and bring it in a little bit to display her tiny little waist. And so here they actually move Aurora out of the call out to the end. So what they're doing here is generally with judging, the girls closer to the middle are going to place in the top 1 or 2 spots, and then outside those, it's going to be 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So at the moment, Aurora got moved outside of what would have been top 5 placing, which, you know, I was kind of bummed about. But when I looked at these girls from the perspective of look at the size of the muscle and their glutes and their shoulders and just how complete they are, you can't be disappointed. You can only bring your competitors to the stage the best that they can possibly look. And once the prep begins, you're not going to be adding a lot of muscle. So it's all about bringing all the other intangibles. They then moved her back in to the top 5 position. And so she ended up placing in the top 5 at the Arnold Amateur, which was a wonderful accomplishment for her. Last year, Kim Martin, one of my clients, actually won her class at this show, and I wasn't even here. So this is a show that's been on my radar all year. So I was excited to come here and be a part of it. And I have to say it was a wonderful experience. It will definitely encourage me to bring more competitors. The top 3 girls in the overall actually turned pro. And as you can see in this class, the blonde in the middle with the black suit, she did not win the overall, but she did get top 3 in the overall and turned pro at this show. And I saw her a few weeks ago at the Portland show, just a fantastic competitor. So yeah, lots of talent in this lineup. Every single class had competitors that could have easily won their classes at any of the national shows that I've been at. So this show was on par with any of those as far as talent level, size. I think most of the classes had 20 to 30 competitors, and it had up to H, so 8 height classes in total. So Aurora's here holding her own, and the great part about, seeing someone like her put on all this work and get to go celebrate coming out in the group of the top 5, getting her top 5 medal was just the icing on the cake for this, and a great way to end the day. The nice thing about this show is they didn't really give a night show. You had your routines and awards right after prejudging, so that's how it ended. And that's going to be it for me today, guys, and I'll talk to you soon at the expo. See ya.